Hey, what's up, guys? Today we have the final boss on the way to Legend. So let's see how it goes. Playing Face Hunter because I decided to play Rogue and it just wasn't working out. So I had to pull out the Hunter Ace. So we're up against another Hunter. It's a Smorc town here. So yeah. I discard the Rhino because it's just too much. I mean, as a hunter, you want to start off the early game with small cards, and then I return the Adorable Infestation because I don't have any minions to play it on. I kept the Doggy Biscuit because even though I don't have 1 mana card to play on turn 1, I could retain it, so I could trade it. So I got the old Volpatinger, so I could play that in turn 2, and it seems like he's basically mirroring my play. And it actually starts off pretty good here, so it's a difficult choice, whether to go for control or start to build the board, but I feel like if I try to build the board here, he would just out-tempo me, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of the 1-2 just to continue control. And yeah, I'm a bit behind now because he also has an Adorable Infestation, and honestly this seems like it's gonna be a difficult one, but the game isn't over until it's over. So he's building a pretty solid board here. Now I don't have the minions to match his board, so at least for now, I could at least try to control his board as best as possible until hopefully, I get some minions to start building the board, because I can't control it forever, and it's relentless. But obviously what he can't see is that I have the Kodo Bean and the Riddling Rifle, which could give me a tempo swing, if I don't die, hopefully. So I play the Riddling Rifle, and I'm hoping to get Explosive Trap here because that'll be a perfect clear once he doesn't have any buffs. But I think that's highly unlikely at this point. So he taps the trap to see if it's, and I'm actually kind of surprised by that, because I thought he would at least use a buff, but yes, he was a Wrangler, and I really predict he'd probably have a Rhino, because obviously I would tend to play like smaller minions like the Volpatinger and just the 1/1s from the Adorable Infestation. So I decided to go to Kodo Bean because hopefully I could probably get like a freezing trap from the Riddling Rifle, and if he decides to use the Rhino to clear it, which he most likely will, I could send it back, but I don't get that freezing trap. So I take Pack Tactics so that I could probably start building the board, and hopefully have a tempo swing back in the next direction. But because he wasn't able to capitalize in the early game, that throw from the Kodo Bean, those spells could really give me a tempo swing back in the next direction. So yeah, and even when he brings his Rhino down, I have options to clear, so I think he's really deciding here. I'm thinking, I have the option for the Ram, I have another Doggy Biscuit, like, I have a lot of options. I even have the Piercing Shot, so I have a lot of options to control going forward, and I definitely think the tempo could swing back into my direction. But yeah, as predicted, he chose your Rhino. So, and obviously, well, he would attack this with the Warsong Wrangler to see if it's a freezing trap, and it was not. So that choice of the 3/3 actually helped me out a lot, because it gives me a minion to buff, and it's actually a proactive play because it could now attack also, so it allows me to clear the board and once again swing tempo back into my favor. So yeah, so I use the Piercing Shot to clear the Rhino, I buffed the 3/3 Quarter Beam, and you know I cleared the minion, so now the tempo is back in my court. Depending on what he does here now, but I have a lot of buffs, so, and even with the Volpatinger, you know, I could play next turn and start above that with the Ramming Mount and the Adorable Infestation and start to build the board. Is the thing with Hunter is that, you know, you could just go face, but if you ignore the board, obviously you're gonna run into problems. So yeah, he continues to build the board, but as you can see, he's running out of tempo. He has a Trog, he has a Volpatinger, and he has a Trim Crescent, but that's really not going to be enough at this stage of the game, and especially with all the hand buffs and everything that I have. So I decided to continue to play the control game, and I get rid of the Trog first for obvious reasons. You know, we don't want to get that. You don't want to let that get out of hand, especially if he has any buffs that he probably might have in hand or probably top deck. So yeah, you know, get rid of the Trog and, you know, just continue to control the board as best as possible. But once again, I have so many hand buffs, you know, it would just be a waste of damage to go into the Wolverine, to be fair. So I think I'll just go face. Now there are a few conditions I could lose this game. If he has the second Rhino, or if he has a piercing shot and maybe an aim shot, like, you know, he could get in some proper damage and, you know, threaten lethal in 2 turns. But fortunately that wasn't the case, and yeah, now he realized he's losing tempo and he's really trying to control my board, but at this point it's just too late. You know, those spells drawn from the Quarter Beam, it was just too much to swing the tempo back into my direction. So, you know, the fact that he didn't capitalize, you know, in the early game is really paying off for me now. So yeah, you know, he only has 1 card, and unless he top decks something amazing, which I really can't think of what he could possibly top deck to save him now, like, you know, the game should be all mines. But yeah, you know, it's really just a wait and see what he top decks. But yeah, you know, a hunter against a hunter, it's all about optimizing mana, optimizing damage, and, you know, controlling as much as possible. That's just how it goes in an aggro matchup. Whereas, you know, any other matchup, you go face. So there he goes, he surrenders, and we are legend. So, I mean, it wasn't an easy final boss to reach legend, you know, especially with the Smorc Hunter, but, you know, we got there in the end. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and comment for what you'd like to see next.